Close your eyes for a second. No cars, no planes, no phones. Just Earth. 100,000 years ago, this was reality. Have you ever wondered how quiet the world actually was? Not quiet like your bedroom at night. Truly, completely silent. Let's find out. Today we live inside a wall of noise. Traffic, construction, notifications, music. But back then, the world was a different place entirely. Scientists measure sound in decibels. A modern city runs at about 80 to 90 decibels, constantly. 100,000 years ago, the average was closer to 20. That's the sound of a whisper. Imagine looking at Earth from space. No city lights, no radio signals, no satellites, just a quiet, spinning planet covered in forests, oceans, and wind. The only sounds that existed were natural. Birds calling at dawn, wind pushing through the leaves, a river rushing somewhere in the distance. That was the whole soundtrack of the world. Animals had no reason to fear machines, because machines didn't exist. A herd of mammoths could walk in total peace. No engines, no sirens, no horns. Even the oceans were silent beneath the surface. No ships, no sonar, no underwater motors, just fish, currents, and the deep hum of the sea itself. The loudest sounds back then? Thunder, a waterfall, a volcano in the distance. Nature was the only one loud enough to shake the earth. There was no background hum. You know that low buzzing sound you hear when everything is quiet? That's modern infrastructure. Power lines, refrigerators, HVAC systems. None of that existed, not even close. At night, the silence was absolute. One owl, one cricket, maybe distant wolves, and then nothing. Miles and miles of nothing. Rivers sounded different too. Pure, uninterrupted. No dams, no factories upstream. Just water, doing what water does. And humans? There were only about 100,000 of us on the entire planet, scattered across Africa, tiny groups sitting around small fires, talking softly, listening to the dark. Think about that number. 100,000 people. That's less than a small city today, spread across an entire continent. The nearest human voice might be days away. The tools they used made almost no sound. Stone tapping against stone. A small click. A scrape. That was the sound of technology. They moved on foot, barefoot. No wheels, no engines. The loudest thing a human could make was their own voice, or a drum. Language was simpler. Communication was face-to-face. No shouting across distance. Sound traveled short and then disappeared. Sleep was deep, truly deep, because the night was not broken by anything man-made. Your nervous system could fully reset. Stories were told out loud, passed from elder to child. No recordings, no playback, just a voice, a fire, and complete attention. Now compare that to today. Same human brain, same ears, same nervous system, but living inside a constant, invisible storm of noise. We were never designed for this. Scientists have found that long-term noise exposure increases cortisol, the stress hormone. It raises blood pressure. It disturbs sleep, focus, and memory. And most of us don't even notice it happening. In a modern city, even at 3 a.m., you're still surrounded by sound. Air conditioning, a distant highway, elevators humming. The city never truly sleeps. The ocean changed the most dramatically. Today, it's flooded with noise from ships, submarines, and sonar systems. Whales can no longer communicate across the distances they once could. The underwater world is confused and stressed. Even a quiet forest today gets broken by airplane noise every few minutes. There are almost no places on Earth where human-made sound cannot reach. Stand in your quiet apartment. You'll still hear the fridge, the ventilation, your neighbor's TV, a car passing outside. That's your baseline now. We lost the quiet sky too. Ancient humans looked up and heard nothing but wind. Today there's always something up there. A jet, a satellite dish signal, a radio wave. Can you even imagine true silence? Not the silence of wearing earplugs, but the silence of a world that simply hasn't made noise yet. Here's something fascinating. When humans experience deep silence, the brain doesn't go to sleep. It activates. New neurons grow. Creativity spikes. Memory consolidates. Silence is literally food for the brain. Our ancestors didn't need sleep meditation apps. They had real silence, real darkness, real rest, and their sleep cycles were complete. In total silence, the mind starts thinking clearly, not faster, but deeper. Ancient humans lived in that state constantly. We visit it, if we're lucky, once a week. Back then, a single bird call meant something. It could mean food is near, or danger is coming. Every sound carried real information. They listened completely. Today we are drowning in sound, most of it meaningless. Notifications, advertisements, background music. Our brains are filtering constantly and getting exhausted. The ancient brain and the modern brain are the same hardware. But the ancient brain ran in a quiet environment. Ours runs in a noise storm. No wonder anxiety and burnout are at record levels. But here's the good news. Nature still offers pockets of that ancient silence. A forest trail at 6 a.m., a mountain lake with no one around, the ocean before sunrise. Even 5 minutes of real silence, phone off, eyes closed, no music, can measurably lower your cortisol levels. 5 minutes, that's it. There's a reason people feel deeply restored after hiking. It's not just the exercise, it's the sound environment. Birds, wind, footsteps, nothing else. Your nervous system recognizes it. It's familiar, ancient, home. You and a human from 100,000 years ago share the same fundamental need. Not just food and shelter, but silence, stillness, space to just be. So let's recap. 100,000 years ago, the world was almost completely silent. No engines, no electricity, no cities, just wind, water, animals, and a few quiet human voices. That was our natural acoustic environment for most of human history. So here's a question for you. What would you do if you had one full day of complete ancient silence? No phone, no noise, nothing. Tell me in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. If this made you think, give it a like. Subscribe for more deep dives into history, science, and the human story. And I'll see you in the next one.